Hey everybody, Dr. Maggie at Dr. Maggie Therapy here, and I just wanted to talk today about anxiety. I know most people come to a therapist, or a lot of people go to a therapist because they're struggling with anxiety. Generalized anxiety disorder is a thing, it is a real thing, and it can be incapacitating. So I'm not here to diminish that, but I do want to give a nod to the fact that anxiety can be beneficial. Yeah, and is somewhat normal. So before I get into it, please hit like and subscribe. Share this with anyone you think might be interested, and let's get into it. So, yeah, let's talk about anxiety as a diagnosis first, because when someone is diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder or any of the other anxiety disorders, which will include post-traumatic stress disorder, it will include agoraphobia, there's several others, but we don't really have to get into them. There's a whole class of anxiety disorders that are considered something that need to be treated by therapy and psychopharmacological intervention. So let's talk about the criteria that must be met. And I'm not going to go into the whole DSM-5, the Diagnostic Standard Manual, 5th edition, of what those criteria are for each anxiety disorder. But I will say the overarching main thing that you need to understand is for something to be diagnosable, that for us to have a diagnosis of anxiety disorder, it has to be interfering with our ability to function in everyday life. So I'm not saying if somebody just has they're anxious about something, they're a little bit upset, or they're worked up about something, that doesn't mean that they're not able to function. Functioning means that you can actually do the job that you were supposed to do for the day. People who are not able to function are people who can't leave the house. They can't maintain a job. They can't maintain normal relationships with other people. Those things make it very difficult to function. But anxiety in itself is not diagnosable. It does not necessarily interfere with our ability to get things done throughout our daily life. So I'm here to talk today about what I consider normal anxiety. And I think most people will fall into this category. Unfortunately, it doesn't take much to get diagnosed with an anxiety disorder. If you go to your doctor and you say, "Oh, I'm really anxious about tests. I'm anxious about leaving the house. I'm anxious about, my relationships, and I'm having all of these problems." And doctors will often give you medication that will help you calm down. And again, I believe there is absolutely a place for that and a need for that in certain circumstances. But for most people, it's learning to cope with their anxiety. So here I'm going to go. I know I'm really kind of stepping into a big quagmire here, but I think it's important. So I'm going out on the limb, stepping into the muck, whatever you want to say. I'm feeling a little anxious about this, all right? So let me start by saying that we have different types of people. And there are some who say that we have 3 different types, that we're born with different temperaments. If you look at in infancy, you have the baby who is slow to warm up. They're a little bit cranky. They don't really trust everybody. They're kind of holding back judgment, and then they warm up to you, and they're really very easy, very affable. And then, and there's the hint, there is the easy baby, the one who just loves everybody, easy to take care of, doesn't cry a lot, doesn't have much colic. There's nothing really getting in the way of their ability to just enjoy life. And then there is the difficult baby who is just ready to go out and tear it up. They're going to fight. They're going to be the warriors. They know how to get things done. The first one I talked about, the one that's slow to warm up, is the one that usually grows up into the adult who is a little bit more on the anxious side. They're very cautious about what's going on around them, and they are very quick to say, oh, there's something wrong here. Something is happening and I don't know what it is, but we need to take care of it. Now think about this evolutionarily, if you want to believe in that when you have a community, you have to have that person who sounds the alarm, the one who hears the bump in the night. Actually, last night, something in my house made some pans come crashing down. It was a noise that I had not heard before. I jumped out of bed. I ran around. I'm looking for what's going on. And I'm looking at my dogs. I have 2 Great Pyrenees out here in the country. And I thought, why aren't these dogs going off? Why are they not barking their heads off because this crazy crashing noise? What is this? So I searched around. I never could find what it was. But I looked at the dogs who were like, yeah, it's chill. It's no big deal. And I said, okay, I guess I can go back to bed and everything is going to be okay. I did discover that it was pans falling down in the laundry room, and it was okay. That discovery came this morning when I was like, there it is. But in that moment, I was anxious. My heart was racing. I was like, what is going on here? And, any number of things came to my mind. It didn't matter. I catastrophized for a few moments. I looked at the dogs and I said, they're okay, so I must be overreacting. But that little bit of anxiety, somebody needs to sound the alarm. And in a community, you think about in a tribal situation, if there is a big tiger, a mountain lion, or something out there that's going to eat us, I need to hear it so I can let the one who was the difficult baby go to war for me, right? They're going to go out and fight the lion, the tiger, the bear, or whatever it is. Oh my. And then after the fight is over, the easy baby has grown up into the chill, relaxed leader who says, all right, everybody, excitement's over. The threat has been removed, and now we can all relax and get some sleep. So we need that person who has a little bit of anxiety. Anxiety keeps us safe. It keeps us from doing things that are just really stupid. It makes us pay attention to red lights and to the yellow lights. How long has this light been green? I remember taking a driver's course that talked about the green light being on for a long time, and the driver's ed person said, well, this is a stale green. It's been green for a long time, and it's going to turn yellow pretty soon here, so you might think about stopping. I'm not a red light runner. I want to make sure that I don't run that red light, and if I'm running into a yellow light, I don't want to get stuck there either, because you never know. And I don't know how about your city, but in my town, goodness, people run the red lights like clockwork. You just better be ready for it. So again, there's a little bit of anxiety that is going to help keep me safe. I need to be aware of issues, of problems, so that I can be prepared for it. OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, is an anxiety disorder. And so one of the things about obsessive compulsive disorder is that people who have anxiety, they obsess over whatever it is that has got them worried, and they keep ruminating over and over about it. And so in order to make themselves feel safe, they may compulsively do some kind of behavior. People who are obsessed about their worry about germs may compulsively wash their hands. I've had my own bouts with anxiety over a period of time. I remember one day I was having a small little bit of OCD. I was driving to work. I turned around and went home 5 times to make sure that the garage door was closed. When I finally just made myself go on to work, I called my neighbor and said, "Will you please check and make sure my garage door is closed?" It was just kind of this little crazy moment. I was struggling with some anxiety that particular day. Now, if that was every day, all day, throughout the, and then I would be having a problem with functioning. But a little bit of that, you might say, okay, I don't know what else was going on with me that was making me have this anxiety. It was short-lived. It's not like I have this compulsion to constantly check everything. But in that particular day, it was a problem. Again, not diagnosable, because I'm still able to function in my life, and it was just a one-time thing that it became a little bit of a problem. So you want to make sure that when you're looking at anxiety, it's not something that just happens occasionally to be able to diagnose yourself or have a diagnosis of obsessive compulsive disorder or whatever else, what other anxiety disorder you're looking at. So having a little bit of anxiety will make you go back and check to make sure you did turn off the stove or you did unplug the iron. It's just that after you do, you might want to have some kind of system in place to say, yes, I did. If there has to be a physical or a mental checklist there that says, yes, I did. Some kind of way to remember that you did that. But again, I'm telling you that a little bit of anxiety is normal. And I don't want to get too worked up, too anxious about having anxiety. So anyway, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on that. I just wanted to tell you that a little bit of anxiety can be a good thing. And if you are struggling with anxiety that is interfering with your ability to function in a daily, please go see a therapist. Please go talk to your doctor, find out what's going on. There may be a number of things that can be happening, but you can take care of it. Just don't let yourself get too worked up. Okay? All right. Again, please hit like and subscribe. Share this with someone if you think it can be helpful, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.